Hello YouTube. That's another video. It's kind of a part 2 of replacing head unit. This car came, it said entry head unit from 2013. It said nothing on it, and we've just replaced the head unit with entry nav from 2016 65 reg. Yeah, so initially nothing worked. When you connect it, it doesn't show anything at all. So your parking sensors, everything will stop working. So there'll be no sound, no radio, no parking sensor, nothing at all. You might get something here, and yeah, but nothing will work at all. So basically you just have to remove this top trim and a few screws here. It's very easy to take it out, put it in, plug it in, and there are only 2 screws for the screen. Plug that in. Once it's all plugged in, so obviously you're going to need Ethernet cable. That's got a V8 connection. It's broken 2 of my laptops, like Ethernet ports, so I'm using adapter. So that's the probably best bet. I would recommend to use this one because it causes so much problems. I heard many stories about these connectors. I don't know, it's normally it never happens, but God knows what kind of material is that. So it goes in, it doesn't come out. When you try and push it or pull it out, it just breaks the kind of your RJ45 connection in the laptop. So yeah, that will be the best thing to use. So very easy, just plug and play. Make sure your drivers are installed. If you're using Windows 7, Windows 10 is easier. It will be just a matter of plug and play, so it should pick it up. But if you're using Windows 7, yeah, it's a Realtek chip. So Realtek Paradise 8525, something like this. But yeah, once it's all installed, then you're going to need an application called eSys. You're going to need this application, eSys, and you can find it on the internet, probably cracked or whatever. It's available almost everywhere. Token Master, some kind of a Beamer website, and almost everywhere. Yeah, so that's going to be the easiest thing to use and code your head unit, unless you want to pay £250, like £100 or whatever. So I'll run through quick steps how to do it. It's not very difficult to do it. Normally people don't share any of this information. There are so many videos, but they will just direct you here and there in long stories. Yeah, so first thing first, that's cable is connected. You need to make sure. I'm using Windows 7 laptop, going back, but yeah, I have a few laptops, but yeah, I've just installed this one. Thing is, it was a very big download. I need a laptop like with enough storage, and I had to create RAID 1 and all that. Long story, but yeah. So as you can see, I've got like a few adapters here, but normally mine was this one. Obviously that got damaged and by this stupid cable, and obviously Wi-Fi is running, but yeah, these are the virtual adapters. But I've got Hyper-V and other things are running as well. So yeah, that's my USB one. And obviously once it's done, you can go into properties and IPv4, TCP/IP, and that's where you're gonna have to enter 169.254.1.1 and subnet mask. Just leave it as it is. Yeah, as soon as you do the tap, it will do 255.255.0.0. Just press OK, and yeah, it will remain. Obviously, it will look for an IP. Obviously, there's nothing to authenticate. So yeah, so it will stay as it is, that's fine. If you want to use Wi-Fi at the same time, that's fine as well. It won't affect any of it. So once that's done, you can launch this. He says, yeah, that's another story. If anyone wanted, I can create a short video, but there's so many videos people show you how to kind of configure and all that. But yeah, so I'm just going to close my connection because it's already connected. Yeah, if you click on this bit, connect, so it will load up a list of these things. There's a long story behind this as well. Yeah, so they're obviously light version, there's a full version, light version about 3 GB extracted, probably it might go up to 7 GB or something, and then full version is almost 119 GB unextracted. When you extract it, 320 GB, so you should have a massive hard drive for it. But yeah, you can download an external drive, extract it on an external drive. Download takes ages, extraction takes ages, and then yeah, you can point it to, you can go into settings here, and then you can obviously point it to the readout, whatever your drive letter will be, and probably it will be in a data folder. You normally go. Now, moving on to this one, depending on whatever your model is, you can get the codes, and obviously it's F3031, so it picks up with this. Also, when your connection is successful, you're going to get this thing, connect via WIN. It normally automatically picks it up, and if it doesn't, you can just wiggle around your cable, keep pressing refresh. It sometimes picks it up, but yeah, mostly people have this issue. I read it almost everywhere. So many people get this problem, so that's why I'm using this adapter. Use it 100 times, every time it works fine, no problem at all. But yeah, this cable taking out, plugging it in, it will eventually, like, it might work a few times, but I don't know if it's so sharp, and I've not gone through it, but yeah, it causes issues. It's done it to me probably on 2 laptops. That's why I'm using this one. So best thing to use this one, unless you want to get your port damaged or something. But yeah, next thing, you can select it, press connect. I have gone with this one. VCM automatically picks up your shipment date and all that stuff. Yeah, so it's best to do it. Otherwise, if you want to kind of go through obviously longer way of like deduction and stuff, yeah, once it's done, it will say connection established. Normally it doesn't come up with this, it just normally comes up with sort of like that. I'm going to show you how it looks like normally. It's normally empty, there's nothing here. So you go here, first read your FA, or some people say VO, like FA, or yeah, or VO. VO is vehicle order. So it's like when you go to BM, make a long list. I want this, I want this, I want that. So yeah, so when they take your order, every product has a code. Like for instance, if you want sat nav, they will say, okay, that's 205, or they might say 2606, which is the sat nav code. And if you want like automatic transmission, it will say 205. And if you want like a Bluetooth, normal Bluetooth, it might say 6NAH. And if you say I want Bluetooth with like music transfer and all that, so that might be 6NS. So that's how they kind of write all these codes, and that order goes to the factory, and then your car gets manufactured and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of a short story of it. But yeah, so you read that thing. So it's technically FA's VO, vehicle order. Probably this might be in a German thing. I don't know anything about this, but yeah. Moving on. So technically, when you read it, so they recommend you to save it. Otherwise, you can't edit this bit. Yeah. Technically, you can save it. I'll just obviously you can create a folder. Normally, I created like a, for instance, if I show you here, so I have created like BMW coding, yeah, 1608, whatever, like date, or you can mention anything. So it's FA, you can put like FA. It's up to your personal naming convention. Once it's done, you can save it. I don't want to save it, it's already saved, but yeah. The next thing is you can go here. You can go with like a read VCM or read ECUs. So if you do read ECUs, it also makes sure you save it, just like I did there. So yeah, I'm not going to save it, but yeah, you're going to save it like this. It will come up with a long list of ECUs just like that. ECUs, like every car has long list of ECUs. Everything does different thing. So it's not like old style one car and only one ECU and does everything. But in these kind of cars, they've got ECU for everything. So normally, like when you plug this head unit in, it will come up like this, and like technically there will be nothing here. So main thing is you need this configuration file. If you go through the list, you'll find configuration file for every single thing, every single module, every single, you can call it module or ECU or whatever. So, but anything you plug it in, like it could be your lights, could be your head unit, could be anything. So there won't be any CAFD file. So it's a configuration file. So that won't be there. So now our question is, where do I get this configuration file from? So yeah, that's the main tricky bit. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna show you. That's where, like, you know, like you have to download yeah, this 1 second. Yeah, that's next thing is obviously you need this file, configuration file. You go into from comfort to go into the expert. You're trying to be expert, and you go into coding, right? So coding in the same business again, read FA or vehicle order, and right click, activate FA, and again here read ECU, save it, same thing, and that's your vehicle shipment. And whatever the software is like currently, and this is where it can go like after the update, but that's a different thing. Don't go into this thing. People have so many videos, they'll tell you to flash and do this and do that and all that stuff. It's a very long thing. I don't want to go into this. I'm just quickly showing you how to go. This one, see, move from the combi is your speedometer. Okay, so you're gonna be here and you won't find this thing, which is the main thing. So you come here, you go with like here, detect thing. See, it comes up with this thing, right? So you technically go for the last one in that. Now these are highlighted bold ones. Go with any last one. So either go with this one, select, and then press OK. I don't want to do it because I've already done it. And then next thing will be, when you have it, you can right click on it and you say read coding data. It will start reading it. It will say save it. Best thing is to save it, but I don't want to save it. And then once it's done, it will give you an option to open it up. You can open it up, the file is there. You can right click, you can go read FTL, edit FTL. Okay, so that's another long story. I don't want to go into that depth, but okay, forget that. So it's asking, okay, you can go here, probably, yeah, on top, not here, edit, not FTL, FA. That's another story. There's so many stories. Forget that story. Just select that file, go into it, and on top, make sure you save it. Otherwise, if you don't save it, it won't give you option to edit. So when you edit it, it lets you open it. There you go, here, type, and then that is slap element. This is the main thing. This is November 12, like March 13, but exactly it was manufactured in November 12. So, but this donor car was 16 reg, November 15 manufactured. So I have changed this date to that car, that donor car, right? So that's in German. I don't know what it says, but yeah, and that's your type. That's another story. See, I said there's stories after stories. So, but forget that story. Just change to your donor car's manufacturing date here, right? And then open this up. Okay, here. So, see, these are the things I was talking about. Vehicle order. So what I did is I looked into it. It was a 606 option. You can type in here. You can just do comma 606, and when you press here, apply, so it will automatically move it to like order wise. It will just put it here. Doesn't matter. You don't need to just go here and then put it. It will automatically rearrange it for you. So you don't need to exactly do anything. So once it's done, so you click on here, apply changes, and click on this floppy disk, click on save. So once it's saved, then you can right click on it. It will say calculate FP, right? If you forget that, it won't work. Make sure you do that. So once it's done, then you can go back to the expert mode, and then you go into VCM. Yeah, people don't share this as well. So VCM, and then you do it. You see, this is where, yeah, normally it will be here. You can change it to master. Yeah, that's where your date, you see, it shows whatever your shipment date was and whatever. So you do like a write FAFP. So once you've done that, then you go coding again, right? Then that should be active. Make sure if it's not active, you can right click, or you can, if you want to do it again, you can just read, right? It will look like this. So when you click on activate, it will look like this, and you can go again here, read ECU, alright, and if you go back to your SEAFT, so it will give you option to do the code, right? So when you do the code, it will start coding like that. I'm coding again. So when you do that, it just turns off your screen like this. Yeah, it comes on like this. Yeah, you won't have anything. So when you do that, it'll make you smile. You'll see, oh yeah, that's working, and all of a sudden your sat nav is back. See, but this one turned off. Reason for that is because it requires emulator for the codes, because this car doesn't have a license for it. So I think emulators are around £20 or something. Yeah, that gets plugged in, otherwise you don't have a license for it. As your car was licensed with this. Yeah, so now that's done, and the next thing is your speedo. Obviously you want this to be displayed in the cluster when your sat nav is running. Obviously that file will be here. So now you've modified your obviously thing, and you have to code your ECU, like not ECU, your speedometer as well. So when you click on code, it will do the same thing. It will go over, your speed will turn off, it will do bing bing and all that sounds, and once it's all done, that's it. So you're all done, you're good to go. And if you have any more questions, you can ask questions, and do me a little favor, click on subscribe if you want to see like more tricky videos. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching.